Look. Okay, you're gonna have to scoot over a little. Good. Yeah. I think I should scoot over too. You couldn't even more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And it still says the wrong thing here. Oh, this is line. Dude, this is not working. This says Lime Street 7. I just changed that. How come it's not changing here? Is it going to take him to the right place?
I don't know.
Okay. What the heck?
Well, we're live here.
On what?
On Facebook.
Dope. What's up, Facebook? How's it going?
Yeah.
We were almost ready to get going on this.
Yeah, we're doing some interception, some inception, intercepting, interception. We're doing stuff. We're about to go live on a podcast. We're gonna talk about deep shit. It'll blow your mind.
Changed.
But I'm not gonna do it here because that would blow the other plan I have. You know. So you're just gonna have to wait. You're just gonna have to tune in.
Alright,
Liquid.
I figured it out, dude.
Oh, dope. Liquid Sound Disciples is the YouTube channel. And, yeah, click on it, subscribe, come check us out. We're gonna be saying some dope shit.
You can say dope shit, too, by participating.
For sure, for sure. Should I say anything else?
Tell them what's going on, man. Like, what's up?
Oh, yeah. Well, I just got back from the studio, recorded some tracks today. I'm about to release Boom Bap Therapy again because it's been remastered and it's dope as fuck. Just recently posted a music video for that this guy made for me.
If you need help, hit me up, 520-272-7567. That's 520-272-7567. I'll cut you a video. It'll be sick.
He's nice with it. He just cut a music video for himself called, is it just Scars? Or
Scars We Left and Took. You can find that on the Liquid Sound Disciples channel on YouTube as well.
Right. Tough Cookies is finishing up another music video for me. We're about to shoot another one tomorrow. So shit's coming down the pipeline. I got like 5 different projects already ready to go in the pipeline after that. So
dude, it keeps posting the wrong shit down here.
Know, all the stuff you wanted to hear about, there it is. Check my shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, thanks for watching me. Thanks for watching this. I hope you're having a beautiful Saturday. I hope every moment of your life gets progressively better from this moment on. And give people really big, deep, affectionate hugs. Especially if it makes them uncomfortable.
Then if you can tell they're uncomfortable,
don't let go. Don't let go, man. Just breathe deep. They'll get through it.
even make a little sound when you breathe deep, like
rub the back of their head a little bit.
Oh yeah. And when you rub the back of their head, make sure your finger grazes the back of their ear a little. Yeah.
But consent is important, you know.
Yeah.
They say, I do not consent to this, then run away.
Yeah. It's probably too late since you already done it.
Right.
So,
yep.
You know. Hey.
Yeah, don't hug rape people. That's terrible. How far away should I keep entertaining them online?
Keep going. That can run though. Facebook can run the whole time we're doing this if you want it.
I suppose that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand this shit, dude. This is doing stuff that it's never done before we got started. Okay, close. Whatever. I'm just trying to say, alright, I'm ready. I'm sick and tired of trying to figure this out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't really want to hold this camera the whole time, so y'all just tune in to the live stream. That's where the real shit's about to go down. It's happening.
It's about
right
to go down.
So, much love, y'all. See you there. Peace.
Yeah, and just so you know, we're going to be live on Instagram over here. I got that set up on the phone. I hope it's centered right on our heads. Oh, I don't even know if it's running, to be honest. Nope, it's not. Now it is. And it's Marcus. There we go. Cool. Alright. Now I think we're preparado to, be dope. Because that's what we do. What up, world? Welcome to The Fresh with Citrus and Yitty. Today it's Saturday. It's pretty late. We're getting started later than we normally did. You know why? Because we were having more fun than you. Don't get jealous. Just tune in and figure out how to have fun like us. That's all we do is we talk philosophy mostly and just like about how badass our life is. And it's, your life could be just as badass. You just got to try. Citrus, what's been badass with your life?
Dude, every moment of every day. Great job, great girlfriend, making great music. I really don't have a lot of room to complain.
I hear that.
Well, okay, I have all the room I want to complain. I choose not to take it.
That's the art. All right. And if anything you ever draw away from any of our shows or discussions, we want you to draw away that your reality is your making. I mean, your perception molds how you feel and how you go about your shit. But that's not what I mean, man. Like, what was cool about this week, bro? It's been a week since we got to hang out with our peeps.
Oh, right. I mean, it's always hard for me to answer because, like, I feel like a lot of shit goes on. I'm really busy. There's always new stuff coming down the pipeline. But generally, the story is the same. I'm making music. It's dope as fuck. I'm growing weed. Also dope as fuck. And my relationship also going really well.
Nice.
We had our anniversary.
Ooh, okay.
Got ourselves a massage.
A massage,
dude. It was wicked awesome.
Have you had them before?
I have back in college. They had cheap massages there because it was the students that were about to graduate.
Okay. And so they were practicing.
So they were practicing. Those were pretty good massages, man. There was this big lady who, she could have beat me up, bro. She was so fucking strong. And, when she leaned her elbows, she just pancaked my body. It felt really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had my first massage at the end of July. My wife and I went to Orvis Hot Springs and got to have a little massage in the yurt. The yurt is a Mongolian style, like a tent kind of hut thing.
I've lived in a yurt, yeah.
For real?
Yeah,
man. Not the ashram, the temple.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's rad.
Yeah,
that's tight. Okay. They get pretty warm in there, huh?
With the fireplace, yeah.
Well, of course, you gotta have heat.
Right. I was not very good at starting fires. My strategy was as many egg cartons as I could fit in the bottom, and then a hunk of wood on top of it.
Did it work?
Yeah, it totally worked. I wasted a lot more egg cartons than everybody else did. but I got there.
Yeah, he was warm, he survived, alright? Don't judge me. What were you doing with these egg cartons? Burning them? Alright, fine, mission accomplished.
There's not eggs in them anymore.
Right. Cool. Alright. Well, sweet. Yeah, my week was just chill, dude. Killing it at work all the time. That's what I do.
Nice.
I'm very competitive, and I don't know if my staff knows that, but I'm totally competing with every one of them. Like I'm gonna be better than you. I'm trying to put people out of jobs. And here's why. Because if you're not taking that money, I can. So
it's a pretty solid way of thinking about it.
get up on your shit, you know.
Yeah.
Don't let me take your job because I'll do it. I'm one of those kind of Mexicans, Mr. Trump. I'm one of those kind of Mexicans. Oh, take your job, dude. That felt pretty good to say. What did I do this week that was pretty rad? I'm trying to think. I swam a half a mile. That's every time I get that accomplished, I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking? Dude, it gets really boring around lap 20. I got to do 22 laps for a half a mile. Like lap 18, I'm like, fuck this shit. You have to wait to take a breath.
Right.
Like,
Totally.
Man, and then the worst is, well, not the worst, but one thing that keeps happening is, like, I'm going to get my breath, you know, when I'm doing the freestyle stroke, and I go to get my breath, and just a little tiny bit of water, just a little bit, not, you know, just a little bit hits your throat, and it's not enough to, like, make you choke or anything, but it's enough that when you're going down, you have to swallow. And that swallowing triggers, you know, like, you have to consciously be aware that it could trigger a little, you know, a little rush of water in the nose. Not like a full breath, but just like a little... You know, but at worst, like at bare minimum, what happens is you don't get your full exhale of breath, so that when you go up for your next breath, you take a short breath, and then you're like, and you're like start running out of air, and you feel like you're gonna drown. Oh my god! And the whole time there's some 12-year-old just schooling you. Some 80-year-old guy that probably swam the English Channel once as a young lad is like, just
I'm swimming to Europe tomorrow.
Yeah, dude. Right? Right? And you know, like I heard about this lady a few years back. She was pretty sure she was in her 50s. Swam to Cuba?
Fuck. Bro.
This was like the third time she tried, and like this is the time she made it.
The third time she tried.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I don't remember what happened the first time. She got dehydrated or something. And then the second time she got stung by jellyfish.
Oh my god.
And so, yeah, this time she finally got all the way there. It's like 90 miles or something ridiculous. My question is, I'm going 20 yards. We have 3 lanes, okay? And if they're full, and if there's nothing going on in this part of the pool, if those 3 lanes are full, rather than share, I'll just go onto this, you know, side next to the rope, you know? The problem is there's no stripe tiled in on that part like there is in the, you know, the center of a swimming lane. They have the, you know, that blue tiles or black tiles to let you know if you're going straight. And so if you don't have those, dude, you really do drift a lot, man. Like, so I'm wondering, how the fuck does she how does she know where she's going? How did she not like veer off course? Right. How did she go straight the whole time and make it work out?
Yeah, dude, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And her compass.
I guess, and then 90 miles, you know, if you're riding your bike for 25 miles, you take a snack.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
And then,
I mean, she could probably float pretty easy. She could probably whip out a granola.
Okay, and she's got her nice, God. So imagine, you're not just swimming, you know, swimming is fucking hard. But now you have a fanny pack.
Yeah.
And a camelback, probably, because you're gonna dehydrate.
Right, absolutely.
You're gonna leave a nice plump human morsel, you're gonna show up a fucking mummy.
For sure. Yeah, I wonder what that's like. Do they pack on? Would it be like camel pack? Throw a camel pack on, maybe throw some snacks in there.
A camel pack with a fin, right?
Yeah, because I mean, there's that chance it would make you heavier, make it harder to swim, but you're also dealing with salt water, like fresh water, so that's gonna help you float a little bit.
True, but that will dehydrate you faster, way faster.
Right.
So you think, all I can imagine, and I should have read the article better, but I was in a hurry probably. She had to have a safety crew. Like, nobody's going to just let their grandma go out swimming to Cuba without...
Like a guy on a motorboat just chilling next to her.
Yeah. She's like,
you can do it!
Yeah. Just eating. Keep it up, yo! You know, like, hey, get out of the wake. That's cheating. Move.
Don't climb in the boat.
Yeah.
Get out!
Yeah. No, roll over. We'll dump it in your mouth. You know, like, and then, and also, like, you know, I'm pretty sure you have to call Cuba, right, and let them know, hey, I'm coming, and they're, you know, they're probably, you know, whatever their Cuban accent is. Oh yeah, and what the, you know, what kind of vessel are you coming in? My Speedo. A speedboat? No, my Speedo. Speedboat. No. Speedo. You're swimming here? Fuck yeah, dude. You know we have boats, right? We have speed boats that you could use. I'll lend you one.
I'll save on gas.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, interesting. As far as travel is concerned, what do you think about traveling beyond our blue marble? Talking about and let's not even, we'll talk about beyond lunar space, you know, like not just landing on the moon, Mars or beyond.
For sure.
Space colonization.
Well, I'm really glad that it's happening because I don't really see us working on fixing home up too much. Now, if we were totally 100% geared on like, all right, let's get sustainable, let's not fuck up Mother Earth anymore, let's get everything under control so we know that 50 years down the line, our next generations are going to be safe and healthy and they'll have everything they need. If we had like that mentality going, then I'd be like, we don't need to worry about colonization. We can just keep on working this Earth thing and it'll be fine. But we're fucking the Earth thing up pretty hard. I think we need to do space colonization ASAP. I'm really glad it's happening for that reason, you know? You can't control everybody and...
So do you think it's going to happen?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I checked out, of course, you know, I do my research. I checked out on NASA's website, you can actually read their proposal to the government, and it was in 2010. 36 pages. No, I didn't read the whole thing. I read what I thought was important, and then I was like, fuck, this is 36 pages, I gotta get back to work. You know, you can only poop for so long, you know what I mean? But, so like, one of their opening statements is that for the good of mankind, we have to broaden our horizons to new planets. And I'm kind of paraphrasing a little bit. But the key takeaway that I had was that they said for the good of mankind is why they're doing this. And I think that's funny. I think that's very funny. You know, for the good of mankind, we need to fund, for the next 40 years, we need to fund trillions of dollars to terraform a dead planet because we're killing our currently still alive planet. So I'm a little confused. Not that I'm against it, okay? I want to go to Mars. Like, I would like to check that shit out, you know what I mean? I don't want to stay there. I got things to do that are doper here than they would be on Mars, you know? But at the same time, for the good of man, really, like, was it really for the good of man that we, you know, colonized America?
Okay, I have a thought experiment for you.
Okay.
So, Mars is OG Earth, right? Everything, you know, they have shit tons of water, good atmosphere, they got shit going on well over there. And then, that's where white people are originally from. White people, white people just had to keep colonizing and taking shit over and industrializing, and eventually we just fucked the planet up way beyond repair. And during that process, we shot some green algae to Earth, and we're like, we're gonna colonize that once this planet's too fucked up so we can save ourselves. Earth becomes a lush planet with terraformed and everything, and once the white people didn't have anywhere else to go, they just went right on over. And that's why my ancestors are known for raping and pillaging and dominating and taking your culture and being like, this is my culture.
And
now.
that's why the god spook in the sky is a white god.
Oh, totally.
Dude,
totally,
we
bro.
just cracked history. Fucking shit. Da Vinci Code, Morse code, whatever code, binary code, you're gone.
So white people are Martians. That's basically what I'm getting at.
That explains why when they work out they get all red in the cheeks. I'm just kidding. Okay, so another thing that struck me, not necessarily about the proposal, but about a recent press conference that Charles Golden, who is the administrator of NASA, the head administrator of NASA, recently went on record saying, today we are closer than, NASA is closer than ever to putting an American on Mars. You don't say. You mean today we're closer to our objective than we were yesterday, which was a whole 24 hours ago. This might imply that we're actually a year farther along than we were last year. Because this is how time works, Charles. I don't know if, like, in space you guys discuss the space-time continuum, but that is how it goes, right? As time progresses, you get closer to your goals. So, guess what, Charles? Tomorrow, we're going to be even closer than we are today!
Damn, bro. It just blew my mind.
Yeah! Yeah! Cool. So these guys are making huge decisions. Did you know that... Okay, so what do you think... I'm going to kind of quiz you. What do you think the steps to getting a man on Mars are?
Oh, dude. I mean, I don't fucking know. I'm not a scientist. I imagine there's a lot involved. I imagine... You know, just having the rocket ship ready to go with all of the supplies that he needs and everything he's going to need for the entire journey over there. What is that, like 40 years or something crazy like that?
No. I think it's 4.
4 years?
Yeah.
4 years to get to Mars?
I think, actually, I think they've sent rovers there in under 2 years. I'm pretty sure it's...
That's not bad. That's not bad. But still, you need,
it's a journey.
You need 4 years worth of food and 4 years worth of fucking entertainment shit. And you need a structure that's going to be sound, and you'll need tools for anything that could come up during any occasion. I imagine that takes a lot. There's probably a lot of shit that won't even cross my mind just thinking about it. You know, I don't even really know how spacesuits work. I know that, like, the dudes walking on the moon, the spacesuit does help the temperature equilibrium, you know?
Yes.
Because, like, shit is either going to be blazing fucking hot or way too cold for any human to withstand. But once we get to Mars, I also am not too sure what we already have there. I know we've sent a lot over there. Like, there's a lot of food and, like, supplies, and is there a dome or something that they can be in where they don't have to wear a suit? I don't fucking know. This all sounds important. And also, I wonder, how is a human going to react to the lack of gravity? Will they have...
Or reduced gravity.
Reduced gravity. Will they have a longer lifespan, a shorter lifespan? Will their organs, like, not fucking like that shit, you know? Because we're affected by altitude. I can only imagine that we're deeply affected by the amount of gravity.
Absolutely, and they're conducting research right now. So part of the process is they have to understand Earth-dependent, or, you know, space that is between us and the moon, space that we can reach astronauts in a matter of hours, and they can be home in a matter of hours, right? And then that's what we're studying right now with the space station, and to answer questions like what does our body do in microgravity. They had the Kelly twins, Scott and Chris Kelly, I think. They're twins. They both work for NASA. One of them went up on the space station for a full year, or almost a full year. His brother stayed down here, and they were researching what happens to your body that's different. Eye pressure definitely changes, and people's ability to focus, based on distance, changes when they're in space because of pressure and stuff like that. And like, you can't burp in space because burping requires the rising of gases in your stomach. The rising only happens because of gravity makes other gases heavier.
Okay.
Right? So yeah, your body definitely is changed and definitely is affected. Your blood pressure is changed, your muscles atrophy, especially the muscles that you use for walking, your back muscles. They spend, on the space station, I believe they spend something like 4 hours a day exercising, just dedicated to exercise to keep their muscles strong. Oftentimes on re-entry to our atmosphere, they're unable to walk on their own because their muscles are just too atrophied from it.
For sure.
So after they do lots, I guess I'm under the impression, quite a bit more research in this sort of area of space. And then they move on to the type of space where it would take days to have a rescue, days to get supplies, days if there's an emergency.
Sure.
So that way they're a little less dependent on the Earth. They're like an intermediate stage. And a lot of people, right now, the idea is that once this is established, this is the platform from where the rockets that actually end up taking people to Mars, people would go to this intermediate platform, whatever is there, a station or another thing, and launch from there to get to Mars.
Okay.
So Mars is definitely quite a bit of ways. And so, yes, what would they have there? Once they're setting up everything for this intermediate stage, and I'm kind of was under the impression that even now they're already planning to start sending infrastructure to Mars. They're in discussions to start designing the stuff that they need right now that's based on it being interchangeable, reusable, and modular in that way, so that they could launch it there and have it waiting that when they show up, they piece it all together and have what they need to get started with their research missions.
Okay.
So it's pretty intense.
It's got to be, yeah, of course it's got to be in depth. I mean, not only is death like a highly likely scenario, just fucking years of torture is a highly likely scenario, and very simple things could be done to prevent that if you just have to think of every single scenario.
And massive amounts of money. I mean,
for sure.
An errant ship, by the time we have a ship up there, that's doing this kind of stuff, an errant ship is going to be hundreds of billions of dollars down the toilet,
For sure.
So it's interesting. It's really interesting to me that people are investing in this, and there's a lot of money going to it. There's a lot of people investing in this. It's interesting to me. Because it is so sci-fi, and I'm not exactly sure I understand, the proposal to Congress outlines that they're able to learn about the history of Earth. What the fuck for? Because we have problems right here, right now, feeding people, just getting people, guys, wait a minute! I'm up here on Mars, and right now, they just found the first tablets that Moses may have used to come up with the 10 Commandments. How they got up here, we don't know. Back to you, Joel. Hey, thanks, Steve. That was Steve all the way from Mars. And here I am in Colorado to tell you that people still don't give a fuck about that bullshit. There are still hungry-ass people, still animals endangered, whatever, still global warming, still, whatever, right? So I would like to know, just like, again, but I would go. The proposal talks about, immense commercial ventures.
Whoa. You would go to Mars?
I'd go hang out.
You go hang out?
Yeah.
Okay. 4 years there, 4 years back. So you would go to visit, is what you're saying. You wouldn't go there forever.
No.
Okay.
No. I'd go. I mean, 2 years there, 2 years back. I'm going for at least a year.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna hang out. Like,
right.
We're gonna do some shit. Okay,
Totally,
but if this totally blows, which, you know, there better be some hot shit on Mars. Okay, and something tells me, listen. Part of the proposal says we have found important resources on Mars that could sustain a healthy colony, like frozen water underneath the surface. Charles! I don't know about on Mars, but here on Earth we call that ice. Not frozen water, we call it ice. Okay? Number 2. What else? You found ground and you found ice. What other fucking resources, man? There's not even air. Their gravity is reduced. They don't even have as much gravity as we do. What the fuck makes you think there's resources? Are you kidding me? Jesus, to sustain a colony? Get out of here.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. It doesn't sound promising. I wouldn't, bet on that.
However, I think I would.
I don't think I'd go to Mars unless they paid me a hefty sum, bro. Like, because just the travel is like being a guaranteed 4 years out of your life.
Imagine how much writing you could do.
I mean, I'd probably have some cool fucking experiences in space, I'm sure. Like, I would have something that I could definitely, like, that's a story that not many people would be able to tell. That's pretty dope. But fucking to go there and come back and have like no money, like what am I even doing? Where do I do? I guess I'd have to get in a spaceship and leave again, probably, depending on...
No, you write a book!
You write a book.
You write a book. By the time you come back, you have a book ready. You know, when you're within, email distance, which in space, I don't know what email distance is going to be, but like, let's say you get to... Man, my space geography sucks. Where's the asteroid belt?
I have no idea.
Well, let's say you get close enough that you could send all your, transcripts down to the publisher. You could have that book sitting on shelves before you even get back, bruh.
That's a good point. That's a fair point.
Dude, the first book, The Journey There. That's already in print. It's already sold millions by the time you get back. Your bank is heavy. Then you're there when you're leaving, boom. As you're taking off, you're sending off the there. That's the book 2,
I'd make children's pop-up books.
Of Mars. Right. Look at another flat red landscape. Another flat red landscape. Ooh, this one has a rock. Although they do have a huge mountain on Mars. It's bigger than Everest.
Don't they have like pyramids and weird ass structures and shit too?
Those have all been disclaimed by NASA as just being tricks of tricks of lighting. Like sand dunes that just happen to look like faces, and
Okay. I suppose I'll accept that for now, NASA.
NASA.
But once I find out that white people are from Mars.
And that's one of my favorite concepts to talk about, just because you get to say transpermia. And that has a lot to do with like today's political climate, It's like, I believe, transpermia. What's that game where they give you a word and you have to guess the definition based on how the word sounds? And so, if we were playing that game, I would totally say, that is the sperm that makes a trans person. A transpermia. Duh. No.
You're talking about charades?
Is that what it is? Charades?
Sounds like, and then you do nothing but you mime it out, basically.
No, but that game's totally fun. That's a totally different game, yeah. No, it's one where they're like, hey, what is the meaning of angina? And then everybody in the room has to say what they think it means, and then they look on the back of the card and it says what it actually means.
Gotcha.
So anyway, what do you think would be the coolest part of colonizing space? Like, so you wouldn't go then? Would you go to, let's say, like if they had a place on the moon? I believe you can get to the moon in a day or something like that. I don't think it takes very long to get there. Maybe it's not. It's
Dude,
miles.
if I could go to the moon in a day, of course I'd go.
Okay, so let's say, let's say they have a space station, halfway to Mars a year. Like what is your traveling, the maximum distance you would go for a fucking adventure?
Yeah, that's tough to say, man. I mean, like, if there was something 10 years out that was looked like it had life on it, and we're literally going to, this is second Earth, we're the first ones going there, I might do that shit. I might be into that. I don't think Mars is that spot for sure.
What do you think would be?
I'm talking lush green second Earth. Like, it's got to be at least as good as our spot or better.
And how long would it take to get there? 10 years?
That's my maximum. And so, I'm not going back. Like, I'm going there.
So if it took you 10 years, so if there was like a second, or just to be sure, you're saying that if there was a second Earth within a 10-year traveling distance, you'd be down to go there to stay.
And I'd want 20 people.
To go with you?
Yeah.
Would you want to choose, or would you want them chosen for you?
That is a fantastic question. I'd want to choose at least 10.
Okay.
At least 10 of the people.
How would you choose those people? What people would you choose?
I would choose people that are excited to go and very close friends that I trust.
Okay. But you got to understand, but how are you going to, so are you talking there's already a colony there, or you're going to be part of the building of that?
Yeah, like they sent all the materials needed years ago. It's in a fucking pod just chilling there. And, we have enough food and stuff that we can set up tents immediately, and we can create structures from what's there. Like, everything to progress forward is needed, basically.
Okay.
And I'm willing to live a little rugged, but I feel like if there's enough to hunt for food and cook food and store food, then we're fucking set, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially if it's like, I'm talking as lush as Earth. There's probably animals everywhere.
Okay, so you'd be down to basically go over there and live like a hippie, or like an indigenous person, or just chilling, right? Just
right. And I mean,
load off.
I'll take whatever technology they sent my way, of course. I'll watch some old school movies or some shit. If there's a way for me to stay connected with Earth, that's dope. Yeah.
Okay.
Because at that point, I'm not gonna be on fucking Twitter or Instagram. Like, that shit ain't gonna be happening. I'm not gonna be connected to humanity in that fashion.
Okay, but what if? Okay, so you would just totally fuck off everything here.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing: is if someone offered that to me, chances are I probably wouldn't take it. But
why?
In my mind, that sounds really dope. I might be down for that. I mean.
Okay. So
basically, I'm too attached to these things on Earth. Like, there's humanity here, and if I go over there, yeah, my life will have purpose and meaning and direction, but it is only that one direction. Like, I can't really do much besides start the colony. While here, I have the option of being anybody I want to be.
Okay, I get what you're saying, yes. That would be my biggest concern about being part of that adventure as well. However, if you're saying a lush green earth, like Mars, I think I would not. I would just go to hang out. That's it. I would come back. You guys build a resort. I'm sure it'll be really chic and like, oh, cool. This is like such a novel thing, you know? Like,
right. Make a dope ass laser tag spot with lower gravity.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Okay. Maybe some sort of Mars-bound sports would be pretty rad. Okay, that'd be pretty sick. Whoa. Okay.
The Mars Cup.
Yeah. Okay, but a lush green earth. Dude, I would have a hard time saying no to that. Just because, dude.
It sounds super exciting.
Yeah.
It sounds super exciting.
Oh, I'm all about adventure.
And it's extremely fulfilling, you know? Like.
Especially if there's a way that as long as I know that information is coming back and being beneficial to mankind. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, let's say every message takes like a year or something. You know?
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine, dude.
You'll make sure to write down and say everything you want to say. Send the message out. You'll get something back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It'll be fantastic. Yeah. That's... Exactly, yes.
And that's good enough for me. Like, I feel like that would save you from, you know, I literally just got like 10 likes on a post I just did, and my phone showing me all of them. It's like, that is constant stimulation. That is insane. I don't need that shit.
Well, what do you think it's gonna be if you're just out? What do you think it is when you're just out there in the fucking woods? And I'm not talking about an hour out of town. I'm talking about like, you know, boom, you crash in the middle of a forest where people have never been.
Yeah. Shit's gonna be wild.
Dude, that's 100 stimulation all the time. When you're trying to sleep. Fuck with that. Oh, shit. You know, dude, yeah, man, you're not going to sleep for weeks.
Bigfoot is real on this planet.
Ooh, and he doesn't smell bad, so you can't tell he's coming. Dude, you know what I'm saying? He just shows up, and then there's no Slim Jims to distract him. You know, I don't know if you guys know that. That's a totally Earth thing, okay?
Slim Jim. Yeah, they got a 7-Eleven there, though.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if their space geography is as bad as my space geography, so I was letting them know, you know, Slim Jims have an end to them.
For sure. I think the amount of years does play, like 10 years. I feel like if I knew I was like going out to colonize this place, and I don't know, I feel like 10 years could go by like that if we really had our space station set up nice. If it's like 30 years or 40 years, bro, then I might be like, yeah, can't do that.
So here's a question: how are they going to choose where on Mars to put the colony? Right? Because Danny and I were just talking about this earlier. He was saying how stupid it was. You know, the Bible says that when the Hebrews, you know, left Egypt, that they wandered in the desert for 40 years. But, you know, if you just walk there, it takes like a matter of weeks, and you're there, like 4 weeks or something. And I was like, well, you know, if I'm new to Colorado, right? I'm new to Colorado Springs. So if you tell me to go somewhere in Colorado Springs without a map, it could be weeks before I find that bitch. You know, Danny, you know, if I tell you go somewhere without a map, you're gonna find it today.
Right.
That's the difference. They didn't like it. Okay. So, and then I was making the point that he's like, well, why didn't they just go somewhere and start building? Why did they wait 40 years? And I said, well, pretty easy, because you're leading a whole group of people, a whole massive team of people, and you're like, okay, I'm walking in this direction. Okay, we haven't seen anything yet, dude. Let's stop and do something. Let's stop and do something right now. Okay, fine. Who wants to do something right now? See, not even half of us. You know why? Because this, and this. The only thing that's cool about it is there's ground, okay? Let's go to the next place. Let's try over there. You want to try something different? Let's go that way then. Boo, 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 boo. Same thing. Okay, cool. We have water, but there's fucking mosquitoes, and we can't stay here, right?
Right.
So, on Mars, where we have never been, how are we gonna choose? That looks pretty
honestly,
good.
that's what I imagine it's like. I'm sure they do like some sort of mathematical equation to figure out what the speed of the orbit is going to be, so we can launch like a little ahead of it, like it's Space Invaders, and like collide with it.
So arguably part of their target is what they can hit.
Oh yeah, it's gotta be. Because well, also the motherfucker's spinning, right? Like I don't.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it has spin.
So yeah, you just what part you want to land on probably matters on what day, what time. I'm sure they do the math for that. I just imagine, like, if I was to do it, I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But if I miss, I can shoot again, right?
Right. All right, let me use my good eye.
I mean, if I miss, they're just gonna keep going. Eventually, they're gonna hit something.
Just colonize that wherever you
colonize
get. Do it. You know, we got your back. Send us the location. We'll find you. You know, we're gonna have really good GPS by then, so it's cool. So speaking of GPS, you know, I just found a terrible segue. You know, listen, we can talk about space colonization all day because it's fun. But what we really wanted to talk about was education in America. And I know that we've both had some pretty interesting ideas about it. And, you know, so I guess what are your thoughts? Or where do you, I guess the question is, my big question is, what is the common attitude about education in America? What do we all expect of it? What are we actually getting from it? What do we think we could do better? Does it need to change? Why? How?
Right. Well, I've only really been through our public schooling system, and I feel like, you know, there might be places that give better educations and actually have a stronger foundation on some of the things that I would have liked to have seen, because I feel like school prepares you for everything except for living your life. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is a general array of knowledge I got from school that is definitely applicable in my daily life, and particular teachers and stuff have definitely given me good advice and good suggestions. But I feel like when it comes to being an autonomous being in the adult world, or just like coping with the fact that you exist in your consciousness, philosophy, how your thoughts affect reality, how your perception affects your world around you, and how to like manage money. And you know, our health education didn't really teach me shit. I was taught a little bit, but as for like how to eat right, I didn't figure that out until I fucked my body up really hard, you know? And I feel like that's basically where everyone around me is at, is their, you know, either their bodies are more resilient or they're just gonna fuck it up really fucking hard before they ever make any changes that are even like remotely in a direction that's actually healthy. It's like we have concepts and ideas of being healthy and we trick ourselves, and I don't feel like school ever gave me any tools for that shit, you know?
Okay. So what skills did you get from school?
Math, useful all the time. It's just a fact. I feel like discipline, I learned that if I turn in my homework on time, I will pass the class usually with an A or a B. Didn't matter how many questions I got wrong, or, you know, I didn't worry about any of that shit. Whether I actually learned what they're talking about, I was just made sure that every question was answered, all the worksheets were filled out, I turned it in at the right time, I passed the class. And, you know, I feel like it's a lesson that has been useful in this world because I feel like the world functions this way in a lot of ways, but I just wish there was more critical thinking, you know?
And what do you mean by critical thinking?
I feel like we, you know, the way the information gets processed is very memorize, 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 complete the test. Now I don't need to remember that shit at all. So it fucking leaves me. I didn't really understand the concept in the first place. I just knew the book answer. When you said this series of words, I said this series of words. I get a check for it. When it could be a lot deeper than that, like understanding exactly why gravity is doing what it's doing and holding us down to the earth. And yeah, I'm trying to give like a better example. Like I have a general idea of gravity. I could probably give them a perfect sentence if they asked that question, but do I actually understand it, you know?
Right. Okay. I think I feel what you're saying when like when people discuss mathematical theory and stuff. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, where'd you get those numbers from, though?
Right.
E equals mc squared?
Right.
Energy. Okay, energy. 7?
Right.
Like, is this Mario Kart, bro? Like, you know, equals mass. Mass, what are we weighing it in? Like, mass on Earth? Mass...
Right.
weight?
Can we like take something and put that into E equals mc squared? Can I take that lamp?
Right.
And
throw it at somebody. And yeah. So I mean, I think
really
I get what you're saying
it.
with that. So okay, so you want it to be more critical thinking. So you want students to be taught. You want them to have a chance to fully digest what they're saying with meaning, to have a lasting and meaningful understanding of the lessons being taught.
Right.
Not just... So basically, you don't want them to have to learn for a test. You're not teaching them to pass a test. You're teaching them... You want them to actually retain and know stuff.
Right. I feel like... more than anything, the mental approach to life you're trying to carve out with the education system. So the mental approach should be inquisitive and critical. Well, critical might not be the right word, but basically thinking for yourself.
I think that's critical. What's wrong with the word critical?
Yeah, critical might work.
Critical.
Just... weighing things out and really trying to analyze it and figure it out in such a way that you actually get it into your being and you understand it by the end of it. You know, when you're trying to figure out problems on the page, it should provoke you to seek out different methodologies of solutions on your own. And teachers can help with that, but it's like, if it's just, here's the question, memorize the answer, put down the answer, you didn't fucking learn shit, man.
Right.
Nothing happened there.
Okay, so learning how to get to answers and how to analyze answers.
Right, because then you're going to approach life in the same fashion, you know, when it comes to meeting challenges that you don't understand. It's like, it's not on the worksheet anymore, it's right in front of you. What methodologies are you going to use? You know, what works, what doesn't.
So one thing I find that when the way you're describing, you know, from the worksheet to what's here in person and what's coming at you, the variables and factors, reminds me of when I was in college, I would get... I would have to just laugh and look down on the people in my class. I'm sorry, I'm an asshole. I know this. I'm a fucking animal. But in math, when it came time to do word problems, everybody except everybody would roll their eyes and go, "Oh, word problems. I fucking hate word problems." Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Let me ask you something. Do you use math in your daily life? And they're like, yeah. Okay, great. On a worksheet? What do you mean? Do you do math on a worksheet every day? You said you use math in your daily life. Is it on a worksheet? No. Right. What happens? Your boss comes up and says, hey, figure this out for me. I don't know if you know this, but that's a fucking word problem, bro. Hey, Billy, I got 36 packages coming in. I need to figure out how much they cost and how much they weigh and what I'm getting per package, okay? You got it, boss. That's a word problem, Billy.
I will say that word problems are usually just badly written. That's my major complaint. It's just like bored. I don't give a fuck about this guy and his goddamn 6 cats.
So so to touch on making it more meaningful,
3 gallons of milk.
There was a teacher in Michigan, I think it was, and maybe this was a hoax. I don't know, but I heard of a teacher that got in trouble for having word problems like, you know, Timmy's slanging green on the corner and, you know, it's this much and how much does Timmy have left and how much can he re-up with? And it's like, kids were passing their shit, but, come on, is that appropriate? It's fucking meaningful.
I think that's appropriate, man. I'm sorry. I think as soon as you get to college, it should be a hardcore pornographic word problem. The dildo is 6 inches in diameter.
How many inches does Timmy get? Timmy's not even part of the frat yet.
And when will Timmy be able to poop correctly again? My brother is a physics teacher, and he does some dope shit. Like, he had a word problem that was... Well, it's multiple word problems, and all of them had to do with an attack of a pirate ship. So a pirate ship's attacking, like, a civilian ship. And it's, you know, talking about the physics of the cannons and people jumping off of ropes and the sails for them to get next to the ship. It's
That's
like,
sick.
That shit's
That's
interesting,
sick.
right?
That's sick, yeah.
Shit's interesting.
And... Yeah, that's okay. So what other examples, though? What other examples could you use?
I think he's used zombies before as well.
Sick. Okay, so that's definitely engaging. So if it's engaging, it's not, I don't know if that's necessarily meaningful, though. You know what I mean? How often are pirates going to attack a cruise ship, and how soon is the zombie apocalypse coming? You know,
right.
math
Well,
that.
all you have to do is exercise your brain on a problem, and if it entertains you in the process, then it's successful.
Right, and so if it entertains you, then you're going to be engaged in it long enough and invested emotionally and, you know, mentally enough to actually, you know, commit to learning something from it.
For sure.
Okay, so
I think it helps.
Sense.
I think it helps.
That makes perfect sense.
There are times in public school, though, where I remember them trying to be entertaining or cute, or, you know, like they'd have little fun cartoon drawings that you color in. And most of the time, you're just like, fuck you. Every time you got that
good. Especially in the drug awareness classes. That's when they were the worst. Or the sex ed classes, you know? Like, guys, do you know how cool it is to be abstinent? It's fucking awesome. Yeah.
Oh my god. I remember this girl giving this emotional speech about how her partner's in the military and that she was his first mate, and that, you know, she has the confidence.
In the Navy.
She has the confidence to know. That's good. She has the confidence of knowing that, like, he has only been with her, so he only knows what she feels like, and she's only going to be about it. The whole time I was just thinking back to what my mom said. My mom's like, man, sometimes you just don't sexually work with somebody. You don't want to marry somebody like that. You want to fuck them first and find out. Like,
yeah, dude. And
that's some wisdom right there, man. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Because I feel like she was full of shit, and I feel like she never mentioned whether she had sex before she got together with him.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure she did. Pretty sure she did.
It's pretty easy to wait for dessert if you've already tasted dinner or something. How's that expression go? I don't know, never mind. I butchered it. What I'm saying is, shame on you, boo. I don't even know you. I don't know you!
Just trying to mind control these
So-
kids. Although I don't think it works on many of us. I don't know many people that are at like, oh, I'm abstinent. You know, how many people?
You know what? I have met some people. It's not a lot. It's a small number. I do have tremendous respect for them. I'm not sure if it's.
I mean,
I believe in their innocence or their naivety.
I'm terrified of STDs. That's one thing that I can definitely say. Like, sex is also a place where you can get very emotionally damaged really quickly. It's a rocky ground to traverse. But I think it's natural for humans to traverse that ground, and it's, like, necessary in order for our growth.
Should school play a role in that education?
That's hard to say, man.
Let me ask you, what should be the role of school? What is the point of education? Why are we doing it? Why should we fund it publicly?
I think to answer that question, I would revert to something I said earlier about it crafting the mental approach to life so you can become a problem solver. And, beyond that, I think it should offer courses on philosophy, like require courses on philosophy. I want people to actually critically think about their existence. I think it's really important. Things like that. But there was another question I wanted to answer before I transitioned to that, and I can't think of it now.
My bad. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Whatever.
Okay.
It'll come back.
Okay. So I actually had a friend ask me recently why they should have to pay for public education if they themselves don't have kids. What do you think? To me, it's a no-brainer.
You have kids, whether they're your blood or not. All children they're your future. You don't have to call them your kids, but they are your future. So you're investing in that. You're investing in humanity. And if you're too good for that, then fuck you.
Yep.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, okay. I agree with that. Okay, so... Okay.
But I don't think we should have to pay for wars we don't agree with.
I agree with that.
I don't like paying for that shit. I would rather them take that same money and put it into education.
Right. I agree with that too. Because I would go so far as to say a lot of the money that we put into war or defense or war preparation, that money, like you said, could go towards American education, of course, but we could use that to educate the very people that we feel threatened by, right? We could very easily go and build schools in a place like the Middle East. The Middle East, right? I mean, in a lot of places I get, when we went to war there, what was the big thing that we were touting when we finally got there was, oh, we're building schools and hospitals and they like us now. Why didn't we do that first?
Right.
We could have saved a lot of BS. So
totally.
We could expand that reach.
Yeah.
So school has been around for a long time. So culture exists because of education, okay? And it wasn't necessarily that people, cavemen didn't go to school, right? But you learned from your parents away and from your familial, the familial population, the people that are around you and the tribes that you interact with, and you learn how to get along by the people that you see, so that's what they refer to as culture. Okay, so at some point, and there's so much to research about it. I tried real hard. At some point in human history, people decided to start getting together and discussing things to learn about it. The most famous early on would be Socrates, Aristotle, and Plato. Their schools were literally consisted of men who had the privilege of participating in public life. So basically, young citizen men, that could afford it, right? They would pay to go hang out with these Greek philosophers and discuss what it means to be a part of the political landscape there, and you know what it means to be a citizen of Rome. Um, and that kind of thing has existed throughout time. Um, modern modern school seems to have been a very received a lot of influence and funding from a lot of endowments and foundations that were created by rich families and corporations to shield their money from taxation so they could create nonprofits. And the benefit of creating school systems was um, teaching kids the skills they would need to be hireable by their companies uh, in the future. And that still goes on today. I remember when I was in high school, Cisco Systems offering and like having advertised like presentations in classes. They would disrupt classes to give presentations about these new classes you could take, systems, about Cisco Systems. I'd never heard of it before. I thought it was hogwash and bullshit. I thought computers and shit would go out of style or something. I don't know. I was an idiot. Whatever. And now Cisco systems are every fucking where. You know what I mean? So, so they are teaching us to be productive members of society, but I'm not so sure that they are teaching us critical thinking skills like you would like to see. I would definitely like to see more of that. Much of the time when I argue with people, they see it as an argument. I don't mean to argue. I mean it as a discussion. It's that I don't necessarily disagree with them. I absolutely see where they're coming from, but I also, as a critical thinker, am able to see it from this point of view and this point of view and this point of view. I'm not just eating what has been given to me. My mother actually taught me to be a critical thinker. Which is funny, she thinks CNN is fake news. She only listens to her Fox News. So
for sure.
So what sort of, I guess, critical thinking skills would you have them teach? Because I know I would have them, go along. First of all, what does a situation mean to you? If you were removed from the situation, what would it mean to you? What does this situation mean to the person that has a different viewpoint? Like, what could go wrong? What could go right? What should it be about? Why do you want to do this? Is the reason why you want to do this a good reason? You know what I mean? Like, I want to go hunting. Okay, cool. Hunting is great. Why do you want to go hunting? Because I want to know what it's like to kill something. That's a terrible reason to go hunting.
Right.
You should not go hunting.
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
I want to understand, what it's like to be a part of that connection to Earth and, that connected to my food. And, okay, you deserve it, right? Thinking about, what happens if you take this path? What happens if you run into this first obstacle that you imagine? Will you be able, what would you do? What would somebody else do? How would you feel if you have to explain yourself to somebody, anybody, your mom, your uncle, your best friend, your kids? Those are the kind of critical thinking skills I would want them to teach.
Yeah.
And I would really want them to teach connection skills, So often it's very easy to just teach the math, and you have a word problem, and hopefully this, how much turf seed does Daniel need if he's going to be turfing, for the football game, and he needs to get it down, and, okay, cool. That's one word problem that gives me an example of how this might be used in the future. And then the next word problem is like that or whatever. But to be able to actually cross apply, really like have an entire unit based on, the cross application of different things. I'm trying to think of, for instance, if we're learning about, the rise of, like, we're trying to learn about global warming, a great way that we could learn about, solutions is to also learn about, termites, who have a fantastic way of naturally regulating the temperature of their gigantic homes with no electricity, no oil, no coal, and it maintains, right? Like, that's if there's a way that they could. Am I making any sense? I don't know. I have no idea.
You lost me at the termite part.
Okay. I'm sure I did. I kind of lost myself because I started thinking about termites. They're pretty awesome. I'm talking about, you know, cross combining the things. You know what I mean? Like if learning literature. You know what I mean? Some people are not really into that, but I understand they need to know how to read. Why can't they read a science book and count that as their literature? You know what I mean? You still have to be able to tear apart what they're reading and understand it critically, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm not making any sense. It happens.
I'm not exactly sure what the question is all. Like, you're making sense. I'm just...
I guess was how to impose, what critical thinking skills do you want people to have?
For sure. Well, in theory, with science, like the science community, they should all constantly be trying to find out if the other person is wrong or not by running experiments, and they should, in theory, celebrate when they find out that they are wrong. I think this same mentality can be adapted to life, to all of your beliefs, to everything that you think is real, you know? If you have that perspective, then I feel like that's extremely beneficial for you, because I feel like reality is pretty malleable, and a lot of what happens is because you expect it to happen, you know? And if you're always willing to change your point of view on things and approach things from another way, then those are just powerful tools to help get you through life, at least. Those are the kind of skills I would like imparted. I don't know exactly what that looks like. I'm sure there's many ways to teach it. Life has sort of taught me that in some ways, but...
One change I would want to see is you were talking about failure. I kind of want to expound upon that.
Yeah.
One change I would like to see is, let me give you a little background. What I notice in a lot of jobs where I have worked, between higher ups and myself, or my peers and myself, or, you know, just I notice that there's, you know, a butting of heads, and it's, you know, a sense of not being able to back each other up simply because my idea wasn't chosen. Oh, my idea is the right idea. No, okay, fine, whatever, we'll do his idea. And then that guy's a fucking asshole for the whole project, right, because we didn't choose his idea.
Right,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
And I do remember kids acting that way in school a few times. And I'm wondering, is that something that's learned at the schools? Is that, you know, because it's a credit-based system, right? You're learning credit.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense, but also could be learned at home.
Okay, so it depends. And so, what things are to be taught at school? What things are to be taught at home? That's a big thing that comes up often.
Right. Well, that's a tough one, because can school make up for the home being whack as fuck? I think it can.
I think so. And I think it has an obligation to, if our society is going to run in such a way that both parents in most families have to work to support their families, then the schools better be stepping up and providing more than 6 hours of mediocre education. There needs to be a lot more going on there, right?
Right, for sure. Extracurricular activities
and it needs to be funded. Where's that money going to? It's going to the newest and latest missiles.
Yep.
It's going,
because that's what we need. Better ways to kill each other.
Yeah. Better ways to kill people we've never met.
Right. Yeah. What a crazy time to be alive. I feel like at some point they will teach about war in our education system in such a way that it was like an archaic, weird practice that humans used to do, and now it's just like sort of a disgusting thing we don't touch anymore, like human sacrifice, you know?
In fact, when we do discuss it in our school system, we glamorize it, and
yeah,
that's a weird part in and maybe this is a little off topic, but I've been thinking a lot about military, and I believe in having a common defense. I believe in having a national defense. After 9/11, I was really amped about joining the Marines. I tried 7 different occasions to get into the military. I have a heart condition and I couldn't get in. They caught me every time, and that's it. Looking back, I'm glad I did it. The reason being, after 9/11, our target was supposed to be Osama bin Laden. We went after Iraq,
Right.
which they had weapons of mass destruction. That was not what I was angry about.
Right.
I was not concerned about that at all. I wanted to go get the guys that attacked us.
Right.
And so many men and women, and lots of dollars were spent for something that I didn't believe in. And I would not have had a choice. I would have been in there. I would have been stuck for 4 years doing atrocious things, which I would have been willing to do in the name of getting the guys that attacked us, but not to these guys. These guys had nothing to do with it. Why are we here? And, that's something, about... And that's what concerns me about, like the public education. They write our history books.
Right.
In our history books, we are always the good guys. We don't offer the children, until they get to college, kids are not taught to really, look at it, re-examine it from a different point of view, hear about it from a foreigner's standpoint.
Right.
So that's the roundabout way, this whole... if the school is going to teach you a certain thing, you think you're going to war for America, but really the guy who sent us to war had
ulterior motives,
something else going on, or could have, or you're going to fight against people that their education system told us that we're the bad guys.
For sure. Well, I think that's a pretty good note to leave it off on. I'm starving right now.
Yeah, me too. We're fucking fading.
So, I love you guys. It's been real. Tune in next week. We'll tell you what time. It might be same time, probably a different time. We'll let you know.
Dude, we're fucking adventurers. You guys don't have fun like us? I hope you do, actually. I gotta stop saying that. I don't mean to sound mean. I hope you guys have fun like us. I hope it's hard for you guys to tune in and see our show, because that means you're out there fucking kicking ass, alright?
Hell yeah.
You keep doing that shit, but when you're not doing that shit, tune in and tell us about it, okay?
Hell yeah.
Peace!